Do my hair. Jon Wedger here, going live. Going live. Let's see if we get any viewers. Okay, we're in play. Sorry, just let the viewing go up a bit. Sorry, hello everyone. Sorry about this. I'm just trying to orientate my phone because it's I'm on a housing estate. You can see a couple there just picking up dog turds. Why weren't you on Ron's the other night? Yeah, the other night, sorry, I couldn't go on Ron's because I ended up being stuck in a car with my son and my granddaughter, and I've got a rule where I won't mix family with this sort of stuff. I won't do it. I'll keep it totally and utterly separate. So if I'm with my family or anything like that, I won't go on social media, especially when I start talking about ritual abuse. These people can be very vexated and cursing and everything else, so I don't put them on there. So I've been going on TikTok, and you're getting some incredible hits when you go on TikTok. It seems to be the main medium now. So I'd ask people if they could switch to TikTok. I won't be doing much with anything on Facebook. Facebook is pretty much a done deal now. I will still do stuff for my Patreon people and bits here and there, but when it comes to getting the message out, TikTok seems to be the favoured sort of platform, really. But my message that I gave out on TikTok was one of sort of passing on my sort of experience and my wisdom when it comes to public order investigations, and the whole scene in the UK at the moment. The thing is, you know, our society is made up of different people of different levels, and it can be very easy to rile some people up, especially if they've got mental health issues or they're damaged. They might be of low intelligence, I don't know, and they don't understand ethnic groups, so they'll think a Sikh is a Pakistani. They even think a dark-skinned Romanian is Asian. I as a kid, used to get called the derogatory term for a Pakistani because in the 1970s it wasn't as mixed as it was now. And my father's from Sicily, and I used to go, you can see my skin colour's quite tanned, I'm naturally tanned, and I used to go black, and I used to get picked on, really, I suppose, and get racial abuse slung at me. But back then, no one was really bothered about it, so you couldn't go and tell anyone because they weren't interested. So it's easy to wind people up, and we saw it with these riots where people were going out and robbing from Greggs to the bakers. You know, what is that, some sort of political statement? Nicking a steak bacon, 6 gingerbread starfish or something, I don't know. But the guy who did that, or the guys that did that, were thick. It proves nothing. And when they say it plays into people's hands, they're right. I spent 2 years on a covert unit in my policing career investigating riots and the aftermath of riots. So the police is compartmentalised. So you get your Bobby on the beat, your police constable. He might do some public, he or she, or they, them, as it might be. Might gingerbread lives matter, exactly, you know. Ginger lives. It should be gingerbread men, it should be ginger they, them, shouldn't it? I think ginger they, them. Let me just try and orientate this so it's comfortable for me holding it. Yeah, ginger they, them, lives matter, and all that sort of stuff. Right, let me just try And they might do a bit of public disorder, so if it kicks off or something, they go and get their plastic shields out, and they're trained at Public Order Centre in how to deal with minor to medium level threats of public disorder. And then you get the groups specially trained in it, the full-time ones, which are the TSG, the French have got the CRS, and other countries have likewise. And these are guys and girls whose training is based on public disorder, dispersement. Part of their daily routine is physical exercise, hand-to-hand fighting, baton fighting, and all that. And they're tough, you know, they are. They know how to do a baton strike, they're fit, and they're sort of different, totally different. Stinks of cannabis around here. As anyone who knows me knows, I can't stand the stuff. That's what happens in, someone in there having a zoo or whatnot. Anyway, so these get called in when there is a high level of threat. They get dragged in from these bases, and they're usually in London. They've got the blue vans, and when they're deployed, they're not really going to sit there and argue the ins and outs of anything. They're going to smash you and nick you. So when you get these people on the street going up and arguing with the coppers on the street in civil disorder issues, let me push my head down, they're stupid, because the place to do the arguing will be in the prison cell with your solicitor. Let me tell you that. So when you're going up to these coppers and you're saying this, that and the other, in a public disorder situation, it's pointless. It is totally and utterly pointless. So you're just going to get nicked. And I always say, police in public order disorder situations are like wasps. Stay away from them, because they will sting, okay? And they tend to win. Now, Starmer made this statement, which is probably the most shocking thing that I've heard. And he's basically really giving you an insight into his world. This is a guy who is a Trotskyite, which is left of socialism, all property is theft, and all that sort of stuff. The enemy of the Trotskyite is the far right. That's why he is referring to everyone as being far right, because he can label you, pigeonhole you, and then he can deal with you. It's quite clever what he's doing. Okay, and socialism, Trotskyism, is having society in a perpetual state of revolution. Now, isn't it ironic that this man gets to power and we end up in these situations of revolt, yeah? Revolution. And we're seeing that straight away. The moment he gets into power, we see it. His statement was designed to cause this disharmony, this discord, and a real sense of hatred. It was designed to do it. And then let's look at the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, Sir Mark Rowley. Now, I know a lot of people don't like him. As a copper and as someone who came to my assistance when Cressida Dick was orchestrating a disgraceful bullying campaign against me, Mark Rowley stepped in and put an end to it. So I have nothing but thumbs up for him in respect to how I was dealt with. What he's doing to other people, I can't comment on that, but what was very, very telling was that during the post-meeting that he had at Downing Street the other day, when he storms out and he grabs a journalist's mic and throws it to the floor, and it was all gosh shock horror. You know, again, the press making a... Sorry, I've got something on my face here. What is that? Anyway, making a big deal of it. Well, so what? He's journalists, they can piss off anyway, and chucking their mic down. Well, what's the big deal about that? However, it's what's behind it. This is a professional man in high public office. Why is he behaving like that? It's irregular, right? But he's behaving like that for a reason, because he's genuinely fed up to the gills. Something has happened that has really pushed this guy over the edge. And that probably occurred in that meeting with Starmer, And I think in that meeting with Starmer laid it on the line how it's going to be. And it probably goes against Mark Rowley's core values as a professional police officer, right? Love him or hate him, put that to one side. It goes against his core values. So I think if Mark Rowley resigns, that means we're in for terrible, terrible times at the hands of Trotskyite comrade Starmer, right? He is a problem, Starmer, and he's going to cause a problem. He's going to bring about a change in the UK, the likes of which we have never seen. All those that took part in these demonstrations with a big screen in central London, they're going to be scrutinising the content of everyone's speeches now to see if there was anything that was inciting hatred or whatever. That's what they're going to do. He's going to implement teams and teams of detectives and civilian detectives to go through footage of which we are the most surveilled country on the planet, of all these rioters. Their photos are going to then be put through facial recognition and in public domain, such as the Daily Mail paper, on sheets. Do you know these people? They will be grassed up by their friends, their work colleagues if the feckless lot work, and they're going to, and all people around them, partners, everything, they're going to be dobbed in, right? When they're caught, they're going to be interviewed, which will be pointless, and the house will be searched. Any data storage device will be seized. Sorry, let me just stand up here. Data storage device will be seized, and then they will be charged. There'll be a positive charge. Each of these investigation units, there'll be one in Southport and every other epicentre of disorder, they will have at least two in-house CPS barristers, which will be probably put on a 24-hour call-out system. The courts may well operate a 24-hour system as well. And where people ordinarily could have got a fine, a PCN, or even a caution, there will be a positive charge policy. Solicitors will make a fortune. So don't people think that solicitors are the bastions of decency? They're not. They're greedy pigs. They're greedy, greedy pigs. I saw that in the 2010-2012 riots, where one firm known as Byman's was actively going out and handing out their flyers in the middle of a riot saying, "We'll represent you." And every one that was nicked, so there'll be multiple nicks, there will be dozens of people nicked at one time, filling up custody centres and police stations. Whereas ordinarily, one prisoner would get one solicitor. Byman's were turning up and representing all of them. Now, bear in mind, if you want legal representation, your solicitor's got to turn up, listen to the facts, and then they've got to brief you, listen to you, then link in with the copper. Now, for one case, that process, which ordinarily without a solicitor could take an hour, would take about 4 to 5 hours for one prisoner. So if you've got then 10, 12 prisoners with one solicitor, which is what will happen, who will be claiming a chitty for each one of them, so making a fortune out of each single one, you're not going to get the service that you need. And then I saw this happening. I saw one young lad, he got caught on CCTV, he got dobbed in by his college. Oh, that's so-and-so. Because your colleges, your unis will be dobbing you in. And the other thing is the Police Public Order Department, these colleges and unis have CCTV in communal areas. The police will acquiesce that, and what they will do, what they will do is then they'll go through that. So they'll get you a registrar in and clocking in and all that. That'll link in with the CCTV. You're banged to rights, okay? Right, this lad ordinarily could have got minimum level of caution. His solicitor said, no, we're taking this all away. Took it to magistrate's court. The magistrate clearly knew it was a nonsense and this lad was guilty. Because sometimes people are banked to rights, and when you bank to rights, the best thing is to put your hands up, right? I'm telling you now, the best thing, put your hands up. You'll get a 30% discount, and at Mags Court, very unlikely you'll get custodial. The magistrate knew that this lad had a career in front of him. He come from an impoverished background, and he did his best to advise this kid, right, and say, look, I know you've got not guilty, go guilty, you'll be treated favourably, you will walk out of here with a fine, I guarantee you. His solicitor from Byman's made such a hue and cry about it. No, this is against constitutional law, blah, blah, blah. My client says not guilty, we're taking this to committal. I then, 5 months down the line, so this drags on, the kid's education is destroyed and ruined, and then this kid, where he could have got a caution, then he could have got, due to the dog-headed, pig-headed twattiness of his solicitor, could have got a fine at Mags Court. I watched this kid get 18 months custodial sentence. Right? Now, that's wrong. It's wrong on all levels. The judge was right in what he did, how he behaved. But I saw this time and time again, and most people, they went away. They went away and they got big, big sentences, and the solicitors were in on it as well, right? It's going to be a money-making machine for solicitors and barristers. So don't just think because the police are prosecuting, they're the baddies. Sometimes you defence lot are just as bad, and you make the money. And bear in mind, a barrister charges £450 per hour, right, at trial. £450 per hour at trial. So isn't it worth keeping that cash cow going? Okay. Now this lot that were in, is it Rotherham, that were setting fire to these big bins, plastic bins, and putting them by the exit of these hotels, you will probably go to prison for criminal damage, arson to endanger life. That carries a life sentence. And I'm telling you now, it might all be shits and giggles what you were doing. I don't know what political statement you was making. I know people are angry about the kids getting stabbed. I'm totally with you. I know they're angry at the misrepresentation by the left-wing media. I'm totally with you. I know we're angry about the level of migration and Islamification. And as a Christian and a believer in Jesus Christ, I'm with you. I'm with you. Islam isn't being persecuted. Christianity is. Christians are the target here. The believers in Jesus Christ, because we're seeing evil take over. But I'm telling you now, those people who behaved in that manner, you're going to prison. And that's not my say-so. I'm nothing to do with that. I know how the system works. They're going to send you away, brothers and sisters. And what they'll do also with the protesters, we saw these horrific scenes where this 73-year-old lady was handcuffed. It's appalling, absolutely appalling. The police and our laws weren't brought in to harass, harangue and assault and molest good people. They weren't brought in for that. Shame on those officers that did that. Shame on the officers who sanctioned that, because they would have been ordered by the Public Order Department over at Lambeth. There's cameras so powerful on all them buildings, the MOD building, St Thomas's Hospital building, you know, the Supreme Court. They've all got powerful CCTV cameras which all link up to one central hub over in Lambeth. And there's banks and banks and banks of screens, and they sit there and they identify, they forward that intelligence through to the spotters. The spotters pick people out and they send these Hornet teams in to arrest and take you in. That's how it works, right? That's how it works. Now all them people are going to get bail conditions that they're not to enter central London or attend any protests. Boom, boom. It's going to stop decent individuals like me who like to go to protests and film them from doing it. That's what it's going to do. And I think this is what Starmer set out when he probably ordered Mark Rowley that from now on this is what he wants the boys and girls in blue to do. And Rowley was probably so appalled at the erosion of our civil liberties that's why he stormed out and chucked that Bell Ends microphone on the floor. right? This is what I think's happening. We're in dangerous, dangerous times, and be careful, people who post stuff. Be careful when you're on stage and you preach. You might feel secure when you're doing it, but we don't have the Carabinieri, the CRS, or the Guardia Civil paramilitary police forces that Europe has, which goes in there, bash, smash and all that. We don't have that. We have a stealth covert police unit. Our intelligence services are the best in the world because they work on stealth. The reason why our espionage works so well is because we sat, listened, monitored and treated people well and realised they spoke more, grasped up more people when they were treated better than when they were tortured. Be careful, because they will come for you and they will kick your door in, and if you kick off, you'll get a kick in, right? And if your missus jumps in, she'll get nicked. Your neighbours will see it, right? You won't be at work the next day. You will have your computer nicked. And I've seen this happen. If you've got a family computer and your children use it for their college course, that's going. Oh, one girl, she had all her coursework, her A-level coursework on there, and her dad got nicked and that computer came in and she failed her exams. And then you have to go home afterwards and lick them wounds. When your door is matchwood, your neighbours all want to know what's happened. You know, your work wants to know why you weren't in. Why you can't go on holiday because they've nicked your passport. Why you can't go with your family into central London because you've got restrictions not to. And then ultimately, when you get an 18-month sentence, where are you? And to all them people that did that violent disorder, you're going to prison. And you ain't going to be at home to protect your family and provide for them because you're going to prison. And that's what Mark Rowley said. And they'll do it because I've seen it done. I'm telling you, I've seen it done. And what's all this about Decker, Heggie? You know, Decker's a did. Listen, whoever's putting that on, mate, use another platform. What's that got to do with what I'm on about? Decker, Heggie. I mean, really? Seriously? Come on. We're grown adults here. Stop all this rubbish, please. I don't want to see that, please. I don't want to see that stuff on my thing. Go and talk with each other about Decker, Heggie and all that. What's that got to do with this? How bizarre. All right, so that's my little thing for YouTube. I'm going to be more on TikTok. I'm going to be looking at this and updating it, giving my professional opinion on how this goes. It might not tie in with what people want to hear, but you know, I've lived it and I've worked it and I know how these covert policing units work, and I'm prepared to share this information, right? And what to expect. What to expect, all right? And please, when you turn up at these protests, and I'm all pro-protest, pro-demonstration, but you can't go burning stuff in hotels and all that. Come on, you're gonna spend a long time in prison if you do. If that's what you want to do, they're going to come for you. And Starmer is not going to let you get away with it. I'm telling you now. Starmer is a dangerous, dangerous man. Conrad, Marxist, Trotskyite Starmer. Well said. I'm just reading some of these things. Yeah, he's going to run you ragged now, and they're going to find the budget like they found it for the COVID lie. They'll find the budget, and Christian values are the target. Your freedom is a target, and there's an overarching agenda. And I think Mark Rowley saw behind the veil the other day. That's what I think happened. He saw behind the veil. It was all probably professional before that, but the veil got lifted and he saw who Keir Starmer really is and the globalist agenda behind it and what he really represents. And this is just the start of this slow decline into chaos. And remember, Trotskyism is keeping society in perpetual revolution, where we should be building things, maintaining things. You know, if you live with a nice guy and he does the garden and he builds things, and it's not long before you have a nice house and then you maintain your side of it. But if you're with a violent man who drinks all your money and comes home and puts his fist through the doors and he attacks you so you can't work, you know, a divided house soon falls. It's not long before you're living in squalor and chaos, because you're living in revolt, in revolution. And a divided house soon falls. What we're seeing is Keir Starmer creating a divided house, aka the UK society. It will soon fall. And he's not a fool, to coin a phrase, right? And you're right, the two-tier policing thing is a reality. It is a reality. I agree with people when they say it's two-tier. It is. It is. You know, there were Muslim gangs going about with machetes and nothing was done. I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you. It's clear and it's plain. And the police are allowing it because of who they've employed now. These chief constables, they're all weird looking. You know, they've all got stupid, crazy hair. They're strange people that are the byproduct of wokeness from universities, and they are accelerated into superintendent roles. When I joined, a superintendent was someone you had to have about 25 years in before you got there, if you ever maintain that. You know, and they're going straight in at these high levels, and with their ideology and their wokeness and everything. Listen, my battery's going to go, but